life as it is and you want to double charge me. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Chrissy here, back in the building. In the building. Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's your girl Chrissy here. If you are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button right now and turn your notification bell on so you can be notified when I post my next video. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for returning to my channel today. I appreciate you. I love you. If you have been sticking with me and rock with me for this whole time, I appreciate you. I love you so much. Thank you. Okay. This video is gonna tell you 12 things that you need to know before you go to Tulum, Mexico. And you better listen to me because I have everything. Okay. Okay, guys. Let's get right into it. So number one, guys will call you baby. They will call you mamacita. They will call you princess. They will call you lady. Like, don't get offended by them calling you that. That's just how they greet their girls and the ladies there, all the women. I don't want you guys to feel like it's because I'm a tourist or because I'm not from there as to the reason why they're calling us that. No, that's just how they call us. That's how they talk to women and interact with women. So just don't get offended. Just don't get offended by when they call you that. What you can do, you can just accept the compliment, or you can even say something sexy back. You're probably gonna be like, oh, papi. You can call him papi because you know that you're gonna have to hype yourself up and hype them up sometimes. Okay, so they'd be like, oh, my lady, oh, baby, come over here. I'd be like, oh, papi, are you calling me? I'm coming. Okay,
men can lie. Oh God.
that's just what I think. Just say it back, you know, and when you interact with them like that, they will understand, and you are more likely to have a easygoing time with the guys there, to be honest. Number two, when you are going to the strip where all the luxury beach clubs and all the luxury restaurants are, example, if you're going to Tantra, Taboo, Rosa Negra, any of those places that is located down the strip, make sure that when you are done with everything, if you want to get a taxi, if you don't have a taxi coming back to pick you up, if you want to go outside to get a taxi, don't go immediately outside and stand out there to get a taxi, because they're going to double charge you what the normal cost would be for bringing you wherever your destination will be. For example, I left Taboo one night, I stepped outside, and they were charging me 800 pesos to go back, to take me to my hotel. I'm like, what? Because I paid 300 pesos from my hotel to get to Taboo. So if you step outside, don't stand there and get a taxi. They recommend, what I heard from a local is that you need to walk like probably like 20 meters away from the strip. Excuse me. You need to walk probably 20 meters away from the strip, so they will charge you regular price, or you can also negotiate a price. If you walk away from it, then they'll charge you probably like 300 pesos less. Because when I stepped outside to go to get a taxi out there, they were charging me 800 pesos to go to my hotel. I was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I will not pay 800 pesos when I paid 300 to come down here. So anyways, I ended up having to walk 20 meters away, just probably like a couple blocks away from the strip, and they only charged me like 400 pesos or 500 pesos to go back to my hotel. They charged me 500 pesos, but I negotiated and I got them down to only 400 pesos. So look at that. That's actually 400 pesos difference from you stepping outside of the strip to do that. And that's like $20. That's like $15-$20 US. Yeah, that's like $15-$20 US to the difference, right? So that's what I recommend. Don't stand out there. Don't stand out there and get a taxi. Move away a little bit, a couple blocks away from the strip, and get a taxi down there so it can be a lot cheaper for you. Number three, the taxis, the restaurants, and all of those places, especially the taxis, they will finesse the F out of you. Okay, they will finesse you. They will charge you double and triple what the regular price would be. So make sure when you go there, you have your negotiation game top notch and up there, because that's what I actually learned. And it's a good thing I learned it before I went there, because they would have been charging me like triple and double. Even though they were charging me a lot, I had to kind of like step in and say like, no, it doesn't cost that much to go right there. They will charge you like $20 US to drive you 5 minutes. Like, absolutely, absolutely not. So I was like, no. So whatever they tell me a price, I'll try to take 50 pesos off it, or like 100 pesos off it. So just say they charge me 400 pesos to go to the beach. I would say, okay, what if I give you 300 pesos? They be acting like they don't want to give it to you. But once you continue probing and saying no, you're not paying that, just threaten. Once you threaten to get another taxi, they will say, okay, let's go. Because they don't want you to get another taxi, right? They want the money. Even because the thing is though, guys, they're already charging us double because they know we are tourists, right? They're already charging us double and triple. So if you take like 100 pesos off, they're not losing. They're not losing whatsoever. So I find that that's the best. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. I find that that's the best thing for you to do, because like, come on. And I understand the hustle, to be honest, because Jamaicans do it too. Even when you go to Jamaica, I'm from Jamaica. So you go into Jamaica and I see that the guys do it too. So I'm not mad at them for doing that, because I'm used to people trying to finesse me, you know, when you go back home, right? So it's just their job. It's just a way of them making a living and for them to make more money, right? So I get it, but you just need to understand that you need to be smarter than them, because they think that you don't know the price. So you need to do your investigation and your research before you go there, and practice how to negotiate with them, because they're gonna kill you. They're gonna charge you an arm and a leg just for you to go somewhere. Okay, so make sure you have your negotiation game up. That's number 3. Okay, anyways, number 4. Taxi drivers will tip themselves if you don't be careful what you're doing. If you're paying with a card, they will tip themselves. If just say you want to use a debit or credit card, they're gonna tell you, okay, 400 pesos to go somewhere. They're gonna put it at 450 pesos or 500 pesos automatically on the machine and tell you to put your PIN in. If you don't be careful in what you're doing, you will literally tip them without even realizing. So I suggest that the best thing you to do is to get cash and give them the dead exact money. That is if you don't want to pay, if you don't want to give them tip. That is just if you don't want to give them tip. But if you don't mind them tipping themselves, they will you can use your card. They won't go overboard tipping themselves. They'll probably only put like 50 pesos, 30 pesos, or sometimes 100 pesos, but it still adds up, right? And they're not going to ask you, right? So one time this guy was trying to bring me to the beach or something, and he charged me like 400 pesos to go to the beach. No, 300 pesos to go to the beach. And I used my card, so when he gave me the card to put my PIN in, I saw 450 pesos. I saw 350 pesos. So I was like, you just told me that it was 300 pesos. He was like, tip, tip, tip. He got to put tip, tip. I'm like, I wanted to laugh and cry at the same time. So bad. I was like so mad, because I'm like, why didn't he ask me first? I got so offended. I got so offended. I'm like, you know what? It's what it is. I paid it and moved on. But that's what I found out my first time being there. They're gonna tip themselves regardless. So if you want to get out paying tip, just use cash instead of using card. That's what I recommend. Tip number 5. How do I get around when I was in Mexico? Guys, there are four ways to get around when you're in Mexico. 1 is for you to rent a car. 2 is to drive a scooter. 3 is to take a taxi. Or 4 is to use like bicycle. I recommend, out of all of them, I wholeheartedly recommend you to get a scooter. Personal preference, but just because it's cheaper on gas. When I was there, for the first 3 days I was there, I was taking a taxi, guys. The taxi almost finished my money. I knew I was gonna take taxi, but I never know how expensive the taxis were there, right? So I was taking taxi for the first 3-4 days there, and I'm telling you, I already spent probably like $500 in taxi fare. It was expensive, and it was just like freaking 4 days of being there. It finished my money. I'm not gonna lie. You can get a rental car if you're comfortable with that. You are okay with driving the first time in a in a country, or if you're there for if it's a few times you've been there, that's okay. If you're good at driving, then by all means you can go ahead. The only problem is with renting a car, it's really hard to find parking spots, especially down at the strip, just because there are a lot of vehicles out there and there's not many parking stalls there, and you can end up getting a fine or a ticket just for parking. And sometimes you can pay even a fine or parking for like 2,500 pesos, and that's $120 US for a fine. So that's the only risk there. Other than that, I do feel a car is also a good choice. The third one is renting a scooter. Scooter is really reliable, and I really like it just because I can get around easily. There's so many unlimited places you can park your scooters outside for free, and you won't get a fine for it. You just need to ask where you can park, and they will recommend you where you can park for free, so you don't have to get a fine when you're done whatever activity or places that you're at. If you have never rode a bicycle before, then you probably would have an issue with it, or you can learn. It was my first time riding a scooter there, and it wasn't that bad. Not gonna lie though, I crashed twice off the scooter, but other than that, I was good throughout my 2 days, because I rented the scooter my 2 last days there, and it was pretty good for me there. You just gotta learn. Whoever you're renting the scooter from, just ask them to show you how to get around and how to kind of navigate the buttons. Not really a button, but like kind of navigate the gear or whatever the thing is you use to keep it under control. That's all. Other than that, I find that it's pretty reliable. I find it's pretty easy for me to learn how do you drive the scooter, and I drove it for 2 days straight for like far distances. One, I went to like Grand Cenote, and it was like 30 minutes away on a busy highway, and I drove there. I promise. I drove, I stopped, I got my gas, fill up my tank, and it was pretty cheap on gas too. To fill the tank, it was only like $10, and it was like that could have $10 gas can bring me for 3 whole days. If you want to go wherever you want to go for 3 whole days, it can take you. So it's pretty good. And the other option was just to rent a bicycle. I feel like you can rent a bicycle if you're like going short distances. If it's really far, it's too tiring. The road is too bad. They're still under construction. There's too many people. So I just don't find riding bicycles really reliable for me to get to far distances. But if you want to go to like a close restaurant or a close place, you can more than likely ride a bicycle if you like. But for me, it wasn't something that I really wanted to use for a long time there. So tip number 6, don't drink the tap water when you're there. Even if you go to a hotel or you go to your Airbnb or your hostel, never, ever, ever drink the tap water, guys. It will make you sick. I have heard so many complaints about the tap water there. So many people got sick during their vacation or after they get back. It's because of the water. I don't know what is in their water, but they don't recommend for us to drink the tap water. Just buy the bottled water. If you go out and you order anything, they will give you the bottled water. Sometimes they bring you the whole tall bottle and they're poured out to you on the spot. That's good. If you don't have any water at your hotel, just buy the bottled water in the store and just take it back to your hotel. Number 7. Make sure when you're going there, you have a translator app on your phone. That is one of the most reliable thing you can ever do for yourself when you're in Mexico. Guys, Mexico do not speak English. Mexicans, well, some of them do speak English, but some of them, the English is really not so good as ours. So they have a hard time to translate it. They have a hard time to explain what they're saying to us in English. So what I did, I had a translator app on my phone. I think the name of the app it's called Speak and Translate. I put it on the screen here. It's called Speak and Translate. So I downloaded that app. I didn't have to pay for it. I put a 7-day free plan on it because I was only going there for 7 days. I put a 7-day free plan on it, and I used that for the whole time there. The only thing is you have to have internet on your phone if you're going to use it. So if you're going to roam your phone or use the Wi-Fi or whatever, you can do any of that. Just make sure that you have that on your phone. You speak into it. You can even text on it. So you can say whatever you want in English and it translated into Spanish I just put it at their ears for them to hear it, and then if you want to let them speak in Spanish, you can put the phone there, they speak in Spanish, and they translate it back to English for you to understand. So that's, God is so good. That's how I ended up getting around very well in there when I was in Mexico. That's a lifesaver, guys. If you want to get around good and you don't want any problem with like language barrier, I suggest that you do that. I suggest that you download it, get a kind of practice with it, and use it while when you're there. It's gonna save you so much time and energy in trying to explain something, especially if you don't speak Spanish, any Spanish, right? I have a little words here and there like como estas, and you know, a little words, mi nombre es Cristina, whatever. Just very small things, very small phrases, and I can pick up when I know. But like for most part, I don't speak Spanish, so I use the app for most of my time when I was there. Number 7, when you're there, try your best not to dress super flashy and in, you know, dangling stuff and super bright necklaces and like stuff like that. Especially, you can do that, but make sure you are prepared to be charged triple. When they see you dress super flashy in lots of golds and stuff, they're going to charge it, because when they see that, they see money. They see money, oh, they see money. Hey! No matter what you think, no matter what you say, they are going to charge you triple now. Do you want to be charged triple? If you don't want to be charged triple, guys, or double or whatever, don't dress super flashy. For an example, I brought a Dior outfit there, from Dior from head to toe, like Dior hat and the Dior bag and Dior shoes. I ended up not wearing it because I realized that when I was dressing super flashy and I went down to the strip where the guys come to pick me up, they charge me double. But when I dress regular, they don't charge me that much. So, and I understand, because it's they see you're a tourist, right? They see money all over you. Even if you're broke as shit, they don't know that, right? So they see money all over you. So they're like, okay, here come my opportunity. So they just take it. They be going doubling down on you for them to charge you lots, right? So you can dress good, look sexy, look handsome, look good as hell, but just don't be super flashy and be waving it all over the place, because if you are not prepared to be double and triple charged and triple charges, then that's what I recommend, okay? Number 8, I recommend only bringing short sleeve stuff. If you don't want to die, if you don't want to get your skin melted off, bring short sleeve stuff. If you want to bring long sleeve, like one or two, okay, that's okay. But if you're gonna wear long sleeve your whole time there, absolutely not. It's so humid. The weather is so beyond humid there, and I can't take it. Okay, so I don't recommend anybody bringing a lot of long sleeve stuff. For most of my things I brought there, in short sleeve dresses, shorts, tops, short sleeve tops and stuff, and spaghetti and stuff. Most of the times that's what I wore when I was there. If you go back into my video earlier, or previously in my 2 videos, most of the things that you saw me in were dresses and shorts and stuff. And on that note too, guys, make sure when you're going there, you take a fan. Buy those mini fans, those tiny mini fans. I don't even have mine here. I'll put a picture of it when I have it here. Buy those mini fans off Amazon. I think it's like for $20 or something. I recommend buy it, because everywhere I'm going, I have that mini fan. That helped me save my makeup from me melting off, okay? I always be having it all over me like this, right? It helped me tremendously, and I recommend you guys buying that fan as well, okay? Number 9, guys. Number 9. Men in Mexico are gentlemen, okay? When I say chivalry is real, it is super real. If you want chivalrous men or whatever that's called, go to Mexico, okay? They are amazing. When I was there, I don't open my own car doors. I don't carry my own bags. When I'm going down the step or coming up a step, they hold my hand and bring me down there or help me to come up. I don't do any of the sort. Only in North American countries. men have an issue treating women like queens that they are. When I'm in, and guys, it's not because I'm a tourist why they do it. I see them, they do it to their own people. They do it to the ladies that from Mexico. That's how they treat each other. That's how the men treat women there. We are queens. We are princesses in their eyes. They see us as goddesses in their eyes. Okay, so they treat them accordingly. They treat the women amazing, spectacular there. I love the men there. I love the men there. I be calling them pappies. I'm like, do you want to be my husband? Do you want to come back to Canada with me or what? Like, I'm not trying to keep you here. I'm not trying to let you stay here on your own. You can't do that. You can't do that. Like, no. I'm trying to find a husband right now. And I want a gentleman. Okay, I need a gentleman. So what's up? Okay? But yeah, guys, I do feel like they're super chivalrous and they're amazing. They are gentlemen and I love it. I love it. Love it. Okay? And the next man coming in my life, you can't treat me anything less. Okay? Period. Number 10. Do not leave your card unattended when you are there. Okay? Whether you are with a taxi driver or you're at a hotel or you're at a beach club, don't give them your card and let them walk away with it. A lot of times when you're there, sometimes the machine Wi-Fi won't pick up like where you're at, and they'll tell you that they'll be right back. Follow them. Follow them. If they're going to the bathroom, if they're going to the sky, follow them. Follow them anywhere they go. Okay? Because they will double charge you. Just say your bill comes up to 300 pesos. They'll charge you 400 or 500 pesos. And sometimes you won't realize until you go back to your hotel. Or sometimes people don't even check their account when they're outside the country. Sometimes you don't even realize until you get back in your own country. Okay? I have seen way too many people complain the same thing every time. They will charge you. They will double charge you. Tulum, Mexico is already so as much expensive as it is, and they want to double charge me. Don't you see I'm broke? Don't you see I'm trying to be on a budget here, and you want to double charge me? I can't afford life as it is, and you want to double charge me? So guys, I recommend do not leave your card with them. If wherever they go, bring your card with them. Okay, go with them with your card, and make sure you double check whatever that you're putting, whatever that they punched in the machine. Make sure you look at it. If it's not correct, go back on your bill and look at what you ate on your bill and match it up to the menu. Match up to the menu and make sure the prices are the same, everything's good, and make sure whatever they put on the machine is the same price. Because these people double charge you. Especially when you're turning up, you're having a good time, nobody's really paying attention to the bill or paying attention to how much it is. They know they make a lot of money this way, right? So that's their way of making their money, and that's just it, right? Number 11. When you are going to Mexico, I wholeheartedly recommend you bring money extra for tipping. Tipping is very crucial. It's very important there. That's how they make their extra money. Even though they are already double charging you or charging you more for whatever they're charging, whatever you are buying or whatever, it's just good to tip. So bring like an extra $200 or $300 and kind of split it up. Divide it into like small $10 and give tip. So if the taxi driver help you out to do something, you give them a tip. If you go to a restaurant and you got a good service, you give them a tip. Because more than likely, they're going to treat you very well. Especially if they know that you're a tourist. They're going to treat you top notch, okay? So I do recommend you bring extra money for tip there. It's just good. And if you go to a restaurant as well, if you are gonna give a tip, they're more than likely gonna charge you quite a few amount of tip, because they're gonna ask you if you're able to give tip. And if you say no, it's just not too nice. You know, like they give you a good service, the least you can do is to give a tip, right? So you don't have to because they're not obligated for a tip, but it's just what I recommend. Last but not least, guys, if I'm supposed to choose between because in Mexico they use pesos there, so, and you can use your card as well, but if I'm supposed to choose between them, I would choose using cash instead of card. So when you use a cash, you can pay less tip when you use cash than use a card, because if you use a card, they're gonna want to charge you probably like $20 US. But when you are using a cash, you can just give them like $100 pesos or whatever, right? But when they know that you use a card, they ask you, can I get 20%? You know, like they charge you, they're trying to make you pay more when you use a card, because you just look like you have more money when you use a card than when you use cash, right? So what I had to do there, I just went to the ATM, withdraw money from the ATM, and just use it during my whole time there. And I feel like that's just better. When I use my card, it just takes too much. Sometimes their Wi-Fi machine is not working, sometimes it's down, and I have to sit there and be waiting for like 10 minutes for the Wi-Fi to come back, for the machine to even be working. So it's just too much problems when I use my card there. So I just go to the ATM and withdraw money and just use my card there. That's just what I find that it's better. Anyways, that's my 12 things you need to know before going to Mexico. Okay, I hope that you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe on my channel. If you have any questions or anything, leave it in the comment section below, and I'll answer all the questions I can. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out. I can't hold up, we can never go down. All the way up from here is what